Have you been hunting for a desktop that can handle your games, your streams, and maybe a bit of work without choking on the workload? And more importantly, does it actually live up to the hype that every gaming PC promises? I've been testing the MSI Codex Z2 for a while now, and I'm going to walk through what it does, and doesn't, so you can decide if it fits your setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the heart of this machine is an AMD Ryzen 7-8700F. That 8-core processor gives you enough headroom to run a game, keep Discord open, and have a browser tab with a video playing, all at the same time. I've got it paired with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060, which handles most modern titles at 1080p with solid frame rates, and even pushes into 1440p territory without breaking a sweat. The 32GB of DDR5 memory feels like a quiet backstage crew. Loading large maps, or switching between heavy apps is practically seamless. On top of that, the 1TB NVMe SSD cuts load times down to a few seconds, so you're not waiting around for world assets or large game patches. One of the things I've noticed day to day is how the Codex Z2 stays cool while it's working hard. The chassis uses a clever airflow layout with vented front panels and a modestly sized fan that keeps temperatures in the low 70s Celsius under sustained gaming sessions. That means you can leave the fans at a reasonable speed, and you won't be dealing with that high-pitched whine that makes a room feel like a server farm. If you're into long-haul sessions, say a marathon raid or a creative project that runs for hours, this quiet operation is a real plus. Another practical angle is the inclusion of a USB Type-C port right on the front. I'm a big fan of plugging in my external SSD and a headset at once without having to dig around the back of the tower. The port supports fast data transfer, so if you're moving large video files or game captures, you'll see quicker copy times than with older USB-A ports. For anyone who likes a tidy desk, this front panel accessibility cuts down on cable clutter and makes swapping devices a breeze. Now, let's talk about the VR-ready label on the box. A lot of mid-range PCs boast that they can handle VR, but the real test is whether the headset runs smoothly without hiccups. I tried a couple of popular VR titles, and the RTX 5060 kept the experience fluid, with no stutter or tracking loss. That means if you're curious about diving into virtual reality, the Codex Z2 can serve as a solid entry point without needing an additional GPU upgrade. Design-wise, the Codex Z2 keeps things simple. There's no over-the-top RGB lighting dominating the chassis, just a clean, matte black finish with a subtle accent strip that lights up when the system powers on. It looks good on a desk or on a shelf, and you won't have to worry about the aesthetics clashing with a home office vibe. The compact footprint also means it fits comfortably in tighter spaces, like a living room entertainment center, without demanding a whole dedicated gaming nook. From a practical standpoint, there are a few everyday scenarios where the Codex Z2 shines. Imagine you're editing video footage while your favorite game runs in the background. Thanks to the 32GB of DDR5, you won't see those dreaded freezes when the editor tries to render. Or consider a friend dropping by for a co-op session. The extra USB-C and the extra ports on the back make it easy to bring another controller, a headset, and a fast storage drive all at once. Even if you're not a hardcore gamer, those same features translate well to general productivity, like running multiple virtual machines for work or school projects. Alright, before I wrap up, let me give you a quick rundown of the pros and cons I've observed. On the plus side, the combination of a strong CPU and a capable GPU gives you a balanced performance that feels future-proof for a good while. The cooling system keeps the machine quiet, which is great if you're streaming or just don't want noise filling the room. And the front panel USB-C makes everyday connectivity feel effortless. On the downside, the power supply isn't the most robust. If you ever plan to upgrade to a higher-end GPU down the line, you might need to look at an external upgrade. Also, while the design is sleek, there isn't a lot of room for internal expansion beyond the two M.2 slots, so you're kind of locked into the storage configuration you start with. So, does the MSI Codex Z2 deliver on what it promises? In my experience, it provides a solid mix of performance, quiet operation, and practical connectivity that makes it a reliable everyday gaming and work machine. If you're